love our new opening. I think it's beautiful. Fucking beautiful, man.
I still don't think we're cool enough for it.
It's classy. It's it's to the point. It's not overly done. It's just like, hey, just a heads up.
You're welcome.
Maybe put your kids to bed. Billy, where's your picture, man?
So,
is your camera broken?
No, the computer system I usually run the show with is doing a full reboot. So no camera tonight. You just get voice. That's it.
So what you're saying is
this is so
TikTok
much better.
got banned, Apple shit in the bed, and now here we are.
Yeah, pretty much. I have the coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
So that's what it is, and
you do honestly sound disgusting.
Yeah. I'd rather sound it than look it, Meg. Jeez, maybe we should flip roles. Turn your camera off.
Yeah,
boom.
Pretty bad.
Too bad you can't see the mic drop, suckers. Anyway.
On Thursday, I had a surprise for you. It's not really a surprise. It's a really shitty surprise.
Oh yeah, what was this? I love surprises.
I legitimately forgot all about this.
And pink hair. See, it's not a very good surprise, but it's still
it was a terrible surprise. I can't believe we did this live on air too.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've had pink hair, or I've had blonde hair for like 6 years. So now I don't.
I'm more focused on the banner that says "fuck off" behind you.
That's how I feel.
Been there.
I know.
I was like, this has been here a while.
Yes, Jeannie. We're an hour early, and if you watched last Monday's episode, you would have known that this is what we were doing.
Right.
So I wonder what everyone's response was to us just running an old episode on Thursday.
I didn't even go back and see how
it actually worked out really, really well. It worked out really well.
That was one of my favorite ones. I like that one. Yeah.
We
should probably go ahead and introduce our new time though before I get too drunk into this whiskey.
Yeah, so no, we're going to be on every Monday and Thursday still. We're just going to be here an hour earlier at 7:30. A lot of it has to do with the feedback from everyone that listens and watches our podcast. It's easier for them to engage and be a part of it, and also because football season. So and just sports in general going on, and a lot of people we don't want them to miss the content that's coming out. Like the guest we're going to bring here in a little bit is going to put out some really good information, and we don't want. I think it's going to work out a lot better.
Personally, I didn't mind, but I don't have any crotch fruit to have to worry about. So, but I think overall, the show's going to end at 8:30. You don't feel like you're stretching yourself too thin, staying up trying to watch it. And personally, as a Seahawks fan, it means I can still catch a Thursday night game once during the season. I have a little personal victory.
Did the Seahawks, did they win the other day? I haven't even
Stop Cam Newton on the 1 yard line.
That's right.
That was beautiful.
God, I hate that guy.
You're going to get yelled at.
That's okay. There's a guy in my class who is a Patriots fan. And so when everybody got in today, like I stood up and I was like, I was going to do it, but my microphone's like right here, but I wooed. I gave him the whole, gave him a full Ric Flair, like 8:10 in the morning, like he was not prepared for it. I was just wow, as loud as I could right in his face.
That's so funny. That's so funny that you say that. When I was in Japan, it was when the Giants played the Pats for the second time in the Super Bowl. So the game for us was like 4:00 in the morning, and we're all sitting in my office, in the watch commander's office, and my buddy Matty was sitting next to me, diehard Patriots fan, right? And obviously the Giants won the game, and I just stood up, and I got like 3 inches from his face and just did the Ric Flair. I was like,
full nature boy, man. He was like, I see you watch the game, but I'm like, I don't know who didn't watch that game. Jeez, you told everybody. You moved your running back left, and they all went, oh, that was a great game. But yes, that all aside, I think the new time slot's going to work out great. And before I forget, happy Oktoberfest, everybody, which means my favorite beers now. So I went to Poseidon and got a boot. I don't have beer, so this is whiskey tonight.
Oh, my God.
It's not October, though.
It's not how it works. Ask the Germans. They made the rule.
Okay.
What? Ask the Germans.
I think it has to do with the moon kind of thing, but it sounds like some hippy-dippy crap, so I don't really pay attention.
Moon.
Yeah, well. I think so. I'm not abundantly sure. Danique will chime in a minute with a historical fact and an answer to that.
Yeah, it's early enough for her because she goes to bed early.
She's probably super excited right now. Probably going all Ric Flair in the backyard. So anyway, tonight's guest, I'm very excited about. Lauren works for the Student Veterans of America, higher up than Justin, who is significantly less important than she is. Lauren put herself through college and then duped the Army into paying it back, which is always awesome because the government is terrible about giving you your dues. So she went ahead and got it.
Got to clap.
And then, so now.
We can't see what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't think that's a perfect time.
I gotta narrate all my physical movements. It's so bad.
So Lauren now works up in DC for the Student Veterans of America, advocating for veterans and specifically the GI Bill. So I'm very excited to talk to her tonight because I'm stretching mine as thin as possible. Meg, of course, has a little bit more time, but Meg goes to a third-rate college, so she's got a lot of questions on how to solve those.
I'm still closer to getting my bachelor's than you.
I know. I've been going on 10 years now and 7 colleges and 5 dropouts, but I'll get there eventually.
Hey, you know what? I beat you in years, though, because I've been going for 15.
Oh, yeah. If I have to go to college longer than you, I'm just going to drop out entirely. I'll just sign it over to some other kid. I'll go adopt some 17-year-old sailor and give him the rest of my time.
At least it's only been one college. Well, I transferred to a university, but
I
it's
definitely
been
went to
one
college like at every state just for funsies. I'm collecting a map of them. So Billy, if you don't mind, let's go ahead and bring in our guest tonight, please. We appreciate you. Hi, Lauren.
Hello,
Hey.
Lauren.
How's it going?
It's all right. Thanks so much for having me tonight.
Of course. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. Well, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your background with your college experience and with the military.
Yeah, great start. Definitely a unique background for somebody in my position at SVA. I went to Virginia Tech, 18-year-old normal college kid, graduated at the height of the recession.
Nice.
And as my husband says, panicked and joined the Army.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
There's always wars to fight.
Yeah, that's right. It was 2009, so there was still a lot of war to be fighting then.
Oh, yeah.
And I picked the Army, right? So really just went out swinging for it. Ended up flying drones for the Army and did it was pretty cool. Did a tour in Iraq, stationed in Kansas most of the time, which is the downside of the Army, right? Like you guys all get the cool bases with beaches involved, and I had a lot of work. So there was that.
You're right, but they haven't let me invade Bahrain yet, or not Bahrain, Bermuda or Jamaica. I'd like to take over Hawaii once or twice, but
Yeah, you're right. I guess, those are better beaches than what you guys have, but I'd still take San Diego over Windmills of Kansas, personally.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So did one tour with the Army, left. I'm from the DC area originally, moved back home, sort of on a hope and a prayer, applied for a job as a legislative associate doing some work for another veterans organization. They hired me. To this day, I still am not entirely sure why, but I'm so thankful because I've been working in veteran advocacy at various nonprofits for about 8 years now. For the last 3 years, I've been with Student Veterans of America as leading the government affairs work. So I work with Capitol Hill and the VA to speak on behalf of student veterans in DC to make sure that what we're hearing and the concerns that everyone is facing make their way as best we can to Congress and those at charge over at VA. I feel like the best.
Awesome.
Did you get a degree in drone flight?
I did not. No.
I'm just wondering if that was an option.
I mean, I think it is now. They have Virginia Tech has a pretty cool drone program actually, where you can fly them on campus. That was not around when I was there. No, I actually went as an officer candidate and had a pretty serious injury at OCS, and they gave me the option to get out or stay enlisted in needs of the Army. And I said, "You're still paying off my student loans, right?" And they said, "Yes." So I ended up flying drones.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah,
I built a couple of those launching platforms for you guys.
Oh,
not in 2009, but a little bit later. Yeah.
Okay.
The little slingshot apparatus.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Yeah. And they've got like the aircraft carrier landing thing, the little hook.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Much smaller version.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Those
sweet.
are kind of scary.
Yeah, I would want to see the full-fledged thing because the little drone one's kind of scary. So
I don't either. I was scared of the helicopter ones.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine those. No, thank you.
Put your foot in there.
So Lauren, obviously, the school year has presented a lot of problems for veterans using the GI Bill and trying to get their full benefits. When March happened, what was the first thing that happened at the at your level of the SVA? What was the first conversation you guys had?
Yeah, great question. And I think this will go down as one of the more interesting points in my career. So around early March, right, we all know that chaos and mayhem entered everyone's lives. And one by one, we started to hear about schools that were transitioning to all online courses. But early in March, it was still sort of up in the air about what everyone was going to do. And we had started an Excel sheet tracking where we had seen schools start to make that decision just for awareness. And then like 3 days later, we had so many schools, we couldn't even keep up, and we just kind of gave up on the Excel spreadsheet. And I've got a great team at SVA. The government affairs team is just wonderful. And we started just sort of talking in the office. Hey, do you think this will have any effect on housing? We had gotten a couple questions, and we had researched on VA's website, and on the website it says if you had taken 1 day in person and then the rest of your classes online, you'll still get the in-person rate. And so we were all kind of like, it's good. And I was like, but I've been around the block enough times with this that we should like trust but verify. So reached out to VA and was like, hey, your website says this. All of these schools are switching online. They're good, right? And the VA was like, funny you should ask. No.
We're supposed to be here for them, but not right now.
I will give VA
what a surprise.
They knew it was a problem. They were working it themselves. But basically, if the program was approved for that, like if you were approved to go to in person 1 day and then online the rest, you were good. But none of these programs were, right? It's like a whole change in how everything was happening. So they were like, nope, big problem. They'll potentially lose housing and potentially lose tuition if we don't have some flexibility from Congress to approve these programs sort of en masse without having to go back and look at every single one individually. We definitely had a moment in the office of pure panic, and then immediately went to work. So picked up the phone and called the House and Senate Veterans Affairs committees, let them know what was happening, let them know that VA was aware and needed a fix, wanted a fix. And everybody, I mean, it was just like A for effort, but in a good way all around. And we went from problem identified to law signed in about 10 days because, I mean, it was like really all hands on deck, no questions asked, like just get it done. So that was our first 2 weeks of the pandemic was chaos and mayhem to get a law passed, to do our best to fix that. It didn't fix everything, but it fixed several 100,000 people potentially losing housing. So that's
a lot.
It's a lot. It was a lot.
You had 5 minutes of panic, then you went and did gangster shit, kept everybody the money, which is super nice. And then moving into the summer, did it take the summer semester starting for the SVA to realize, oh crap, if they would probably choose to go, but they can't. So what are we going to do about that?
Yeah, so we're good through December of this year. So we knew that this summer semester and the start of the fall was going to be used to sort of highlight outstanding issues that weren't covered in some of the earlier emergency pieces of legislation. Because we knew there was going to be things we missed, specific situations that weren't totally covered by the flexibilities that the VA was given. So we used this summer to sort of like test the system basically for the fall. And by and large, it seemed to have worked well once schools were made aware that they could certify full housing. There does seem to be some lingering issues with schools getting the information they need to the right people and having the authority to act on the information they're getting from VA. So that was an interesting thing that we learned in all of this. And it sounds like, Meg, you might have had some experience with that this summer.
Yes. So I'll explain it a little bit. So I have been doing full time because I understand I need that housing, and it's very expensive to live in New Jersey. Our taxes are absolutely insane. So housing here is $1,800 a month. I got for the summer $800 a month.
Noise.
Actually, it wasn't even a month. Like 1 month it was $600. The next month it was $800. The next month it was $700. Like, it did not make any sense. And I was like, and I went through and I looked at the VA, like what it said on my e-benefits page. And then I went to, I had gotten like the bill sheet that the VA sends out. and it was like, yeah, you were a full-time student. This is what you should have been paid. And I'm like, these numbers don't match up at all. Like, nothing makes sense here. So I actually called the VA and I was like, can you please explain this to me? Like, why didn't I get paid as a full-time student? And they were like, well, you got paid as a full-time student, but online student. So my school apparently never did, and I have it written down somewhere.
Well, they clearly didn't get the memo.
No, they did not. So they did not fill out this form that they were supposed to. And I want to say it's like a 2A form. I can't even remember. I had it written down somewhere. So it's like a form that they fill out that states that the student is taking the class like online, but it would normally be an in-person class. So the VA will accept it as an in-person class and pay them as such. My school was just like, fuck the veteran students pretty much. And they did not do this. They were like, well, these classes were all originally online. I'm like, yes, they're originally online because we're in COVID and nobody can go to school. That's why they're originally online. Like, you couldn't have just changed it to be like, yeah, they were going to be in person, because my classes were like, I took an internship over the summer. You don't do internships online. You do that in person. So I took an internship online, and I'm trying to remember my other classes. I think one was like, I'm taking one right now, criminal justice research, because I'm a criminal justice student. And this is my senior year. So these were my senior year classes I was taking. And these were not classes I should have taken online. They were very difficult classes to take. And I was like, these classes would have never been online to begin with. They would have been in person if we weren't in this pandemic right now. And they were like, well, yeah, you're right. And I was like, so the responsible thing that this school should have done is, and I went in on her. Like, I CC'd the dean. I was like, I'm done. I was like, the responsible thing would have been to change it to say that this was going to be an in-person class, but that it's an online class. And I finally spoke to her, and she was like, oh, well, we'll get in touch with the provost's office to see if we can change it. And the VA said that they would pay back everything as well. Mm-hmm. So during the summer, I missed out on probably over $3,000 that I should have been paid in housing. And yes, it was a lot. Like, thank God I had almost $10,000 saved up, because that's what I lived on my savings for the summer. And that's what my school did to me. And I can only imagine what other people who say they're married and they have children, like, thank God I don't have kids. Whew. But like, if there's other people with kids, they would have been screwed.
Yeah.
I just have a 70-year-old father that lives with me, and that's the worst of it. But they really didn't do anything. I still have not heard from the provost's office. I have not heard from the liaison yet, and I've emailed her already. I have to email her again this week, because now it's been 3 weeks since she's gotten back to me. And I asked her, I was like, is it possible that you can change that? And she was like, oh yeah, we can do it. And I was like, okay, then go do it.
Yeah.
Like, if you can do it, then do it, because you just screwed me out of money, and you screwed every other veteran or active member that is using their GI Bill or their children, just because you're too lazy to fill this paperwork out.
Right.
I was like, that's purely what it is. It's not your money.
Plug for how I can be helpful.
Yeah. I was livid, as you can tell.
Yes, no, that's a classic example, right, of where VA actually was doing the right thing. They had the right authorities, and it all came down. There was a lot on the schools to do their part as well. And the schools were, we can cut them a break, right? Like, they're also dealing with sort of insanity and their entire system switching online. But the VA can, sort of make sure that that's made whole. And I think that our email is shared in the comments section. Reach out to me. Part of our job is to serve as a liaison between students and the VA, and schools and students. And so more than happy to try to get to the bottom of that, sounds like maybe reaching out to the state approving agency in New Jersey to see what's going on at the school. If they're not engaging appropriately with the VA, might be worth sort of just reaching out and being like, hey, can you see what's going on here? That's part of my job. So reach out. Let me know how I can be helpful.
Do you know, Lauren, just off the top of your head, if there are other students like Meg who missed out on money because of a lack of definite administrative oversight, are they eligible to recoup that money that they were essentially was wrongly reimbursed for?
So is that the first I've heard of a school sort of willfully not doing the steps they needed to make sure that the students got their correct housing. But Meg, it sounds like they made clear that they were going to make you whole on that back pay situation. So
she said, ask the provost's office.
Okay.
She never gave me a guarantee.
All right.
So now it's up to the provost's office. And
well, it definitely sounds like it's worth following up.
Yes.
Every student who's in your position, because if the SVA very quickly was like, and the federal government was like, yep, this is what we're doing. Every student, every school is getting this money, and you weren't, it sounds like negligence. So
yeah, very much so.
If anybody is listening and has friends that were robbed housing allowance over the over the spring or summer, probably couldn't hurt to be like, hey, you owe me some money.
Yeah. I'm going to look into it. I haven't done, like I said, the first time I've heard of her sort of like willfully not doing it. Most people we heard from early in the summer, and they were just kind of like, we're just really confused on what to do. And we were able to get them answers before it was a problem. This is the first I've heard sort of, it's a problem, which is kind of like people probably don't even know, right? Like there might be people out there who just have no idea. Yeah. So I've taken down as a note to see if the VA's even considered the back pay situation, if students learn that they were underpaid over the summer. So thanks for sharing. I'm definitely going to dig into that.
I know I had an issue with Strayer University years ago, yeah. Well, actually, you know what? A lot of people said that, but the campuses in Raleigh, one had an amazing veteran support because the dean was an Army officer. So it was actually, I was kind of reluctant to go, but they had a program that just kind of fit my schedule. And my housing got, for lack of a better word, screwed up somewhere in the process of my summer classes and with the communication between the school and the VA. And I didn't get paid for 3.5 months. Ooh. And financially it hurt, but they did do everything they could to make sure I did get that back pay. And that was actually kind of nice getting that check. It was all in one lump sum. So you just have to, I think the thing is just being persistent also through those channels and making sure that, especially like you, Meg, that you're entitled to it. So just keep, I always say, just keep on top of them every week. If you got to ask the same questions every week, what's going on with it? What's going on with it? It's your money. It's not their money. It's your money. So it's like, where's my money? Where's my money?
Because you're right. You're right. The military is very quick to take back money that they overpaid you, but God forbid they owe you money. It's like, hold on, we're going to need a 24-month auditing period to make sure you warned that entire month we didn't pay you.
Banks, the government, really anybody like quickly takes it from you. Not really big fans of giving it back. Yeah, that's very
correct.
Yeah.
So, Lauren, I have questions going into the spring. So we're already in the fall. I imagine that because schools are still online, mostly that they're getting their full BAH, even though they're all online. But schools are opening back up. Is the SVA looking into the spring already to decide what they're going to do regardless of the situation?
Yeah, thank you for asking. This is a question that I think I have answered 12 to 20 times a day since the semester started, for good reason. So the current authorities to pay out that full housing, even if you're in a converted online class, end in December. And a lot of schools, as you noted, are either moving back to online or have already decided to stay online for the remainder of the year. And so rightfully, people are kind of freaking out. Like, what about the spring semester? Is my housing going to be cut to the online rate, even if we're still online? Great news, highly unlikely. Again, the Hill was well aware it was a problem. The VA said, you've got to address this quickly. The Hill agreed. There was a ton of other nonprofits, including SVA, saying, guys, like, you can't wait until December to extend this. People plan out their lives months in advance.
Right.
So great news is that the Hill is in full agreement. We're looking like we're going to have those authorities extended to December 2021.
Perfect.
And the plan is to pass it before the end of September. There's a couple of bills that they have to pass before September 30th. There's usually like an annual VA extenders bill. They've got the CR package. So there's a couple different avenues they can take, but all four corners of the House and Senate Veterans Affairs Committees have committed to it'll be December 2021, and it'll be 90% chance it'll be done before September's out. I leave that 10% because you never know.
Well, you got to have some wiggle room. Yeah, that's awesome. Because I remember asking Justin a couple times and him blubbering around, not wanting to answer me.
No, it's good.
Because what if, some people want to go back, the schools say, hey, we're open for the spring if you want to, but like, what if somebody is like, I don't want to, I have immunodeficient family members that I live with, and I'm concerned. Are you still going to receive the same benefits if you choose to stay home for the well-being of yourself and those around you, as opposed to potentially exposing yourself,
Yeah. We actually had that this semester. There was this thing called hybrid courses. This was another thing. Schools were coming out saying you can choose to come back or you can choose to stay virtual. And we had students reaching out going, well, if I choose not to go, am I then forfeiting housing? And we had to reach out to the VA. And they really did their due diligence to make sure they could say, yes, like if you take it virtually by virtue of COVID, right? Like if your course is affected because of COVID, whether that's you choosing to stay virtual, even if a couple people are in person, if it's affected by COVID, it's affected by COVID. And that's where the line is being drawn. With all of that though, right? Like always check with your registrar, always feel free to call the VA directly. They can make sure, you're getting the exact right information for your school and your courses. But by and large, if you were supposed to be in person, or if you could have been in person and you can't because of COVID, whether that's because the course is not being offered or because you need to stay home and help take care of somebody, they're being extremely lenient on that authority, which is great, right? They're doing the right thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I remember earlier, a couple episodes back, Justin and Kim were on the show, and we were talking about some of the changes that we're trying to make regarding, one of them specifically was childcare. I'm sure I go to Old Dominion University with Justin, and the Petri dish they call a daycare is only open from like 8 to 4, 8 to 5 or something. And frankly, Norfolk, Virginia is not a low populated location. And some people need to take very early classes. Some need to take later classes. And I'm sure overall that might be like an ancillary concern compared to, are you getting your tuition paid and are you getting your housing? But is the SVA talking with the House about, hey, how are we going to accommodate these people that might need these special services outside of the regular environment?
Yeah, resounding yes. Childcare, specifically the thing you mentioned, right? Sort of the after hours, weekend, late night situation is one of the number one things we hear about when we go out to visit chapters, and sort of like the need for that. So we're addressing it in a couple different ways. We're definitely carrying that message to Capitol Hill. It is a part of our policy priorities. We're working with a couple of offices who are interested in trying to fix that problem in some pretty unique ways. But then we're also looking at some best practice options and trying to share those practices and see if other schools are willing to pick up on that. My favorite example of how this childcare problem was solved is out of Colorado State University. They have developed this thing called CSU Rams Kids Village. And they took a part of their school library and they made a class, like a daycare center-ish area, and they partnered with the early childhood education majors to create an after-school weekend program. So the early education students get practical experience. They make a curriculum. It's a course. They get credit. And then it's open to any parent with, or any student with children. And it's kind of like IKEA, if you've ever been there, where you can like drop your kid off for a couple of hours while you study. And it's wildly successful, so much so they keep expanding the program. So
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
That's
so
a phenomenal idea.
right? Isn't that the coolest thing?
Let your children get lost for a couple hours in IKEA, and your husband's eating meatballs somewhere.
Right.
It's funny. I don't know why. It must be something in the air, i.e., the smoke and the fires. But a ton of officers out here are talking to us about inter-unit cooperation and how we're this close to making it happen. And CSU's over there like, you're going to school for what? We have a great program for you. And I don't know why you are not the collective you being universities don't use your school. If you're going to school for a certain degree or a program or path, there's a lot you could give back to the university to assist other students. And that's phenomenal that they're starting early enough and saying, hey, we're going to give you credit for this whole program. Here's what you're going to do and here are your requirements. And thus you're offering 120, 140% of a program compared to, hey, we only have this much money for staff.
Yep.
So we need to limit it here.
It's a super cool program. And so what we're doing now is, so we encourage schools to check that out. And there's some really cool programs elsewhere. But then we've gone to Capitol Hill to say, hey, this program works really well. Have you considered a grant program that schools could apply to? Similar to what we did several years ago with vet centers, where schools could apply to get money to build out a vet center, apply to build out this child care center, this like sort of off-hour child care center. Yeah, so we're still getting some traction on it. There's nothing more like super official, but we keep shopping around the idea and hoping somebody will bite soon. But yeah, definitely something we know and are working on. It's a big issue, and we're trying to be innovative in how we fix it, or how we try to fix it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you work at all with yellow ribbon programs or Voc Rehab?
Yep, we do. So we probably hear more about VRNE. It has a new name now. It just got a new name like 2 weeks ago, and I can Google it really quickly. It's still VRNE, but it's no longer vocational rehabilitation and employment. I'll Google it in a second.
That's okay. The reason I'm asking about it is my understanding is that you can apply for what used to be called Voc Rehab as an extension to you need extra education based on a career field that you were trying to get into. Are what was called Voc Rehab and yellow ribbon getting the same level of attention as the post 9/11?
Absolutely. VRNE for sure. And it's called Veteran Readiness and Employment now. So
Voc Rehab is so much easier to say.
I think this was actually something that we testified on back in March, and something that a lot of the other veteran nonprofits agreed to. The use of Voc rehabilitation has such a different connotation in our society now than when VRNE was originally created.
The word rehabilitation, that makes sense.
Yeah. And so in a way to try to get people to feel more comfortable applying for it or looking into it, they thought making the name match the program a bit more.
Fair enough.
I think they made the program like back in the 20s or 30s, and like they were like, this definition no longer applies to how we use rehab.
Is that old?
Yeah, it's really a lot older than I thought.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Justin, you need to educate us more, man. Come on, get it together.
Yeah, that's surprising. I didn't know it was. That's crazy.
It's
really a 100-year program.
You don't give him enough credit.
I give him zero credit.
It's super old. We're using a really old word for it, right? So, yeah, it's getting the same attention. Actually, in all the COVID situation, the Hill has tried to make sure that it's kind of like comma and VRNE when we're looking at flexibility. VRNE is a little bit different, and yellow ribbon as well. I don't think yellow ribbon has been really affected by much of this, other than money's just getting really tight at schools, and it's going to be a hard thing to increase. But VRNE, since it is such an individualized program, that already has a lot of flexibility built into it, which has been nice. And so we've just tried to ensure that where there's needed flexibility with COVID, it's there, and that the flexibility that's always been there stays protected.
That's great.
For sure gets as much attention, maybe not as much, but definitely gets a lot of attention from us, because I would say that's the number one thing we hear about, people having questions or issues that we go to the VA directly with. But yeah, absolutely a big part of our focus.
That's awesome.
Good for them.
I hope that
Go ahead, Meg.
I was gonna say, I hope that like other people watching this are just like, oh my gosh, like I can relate to this. I'm listening to this, and they're just like, oh my gosh, I have so much more information at my fingertips, and they're able to email you and ask questions. And
I hope they're like, I was fucking robbed.
Yeah.
Hell!
I mean, like, I feel like there's several people with I feel like there's several people with like my reaction to how my school was, because I mean, most people go home to wherever they're from, whether it's like bumfuck Michigan or like Ohio, because that state sucks too.
Hey, you can't talk about the OH. They get very, very testy about it. Apparently, it's a football thing. I don't know.
Whatever. I don't really care about that. But like, people go back to their hometowns and they go to their hometown school, and half the time they don't even know that there's a program there for them, that there's like an SVA or that there's any veteran things. Like I never heard of SVA until meeting Justin. And I was like, what's that? And then finally, like after 2 years in college, I'm like, oh, this is great. And then I go and ask my college and they're like, we don't have any of that stuff. Like there's not even a veteran center. So knowing that my school could apply for a grant to get a veteran center and to like have that access for people would be wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's so much out there. Well, so two quick points on that then, right? So you can start an SVA chapter. There's nothing stopping you. It's fairly easy.
I'm supposed to attend the summit this coming weekend.
Oh, great. Thanks for that plug. Appreciate it.
There's a summit this weekend for new chapters.
This weekend, and you get to hear, it's 2 days. 45 minutes of it is me droning on about my thoughts on leadership. Yeah, tune in.
Droning on. Good word choice.
Thank you. I talk a lot about Qantas Airlines and some other things, so excited you're joining us for that. But yeah, it's super easy to start an SVA chapter, and that's our number one priority as an organization, is to support our chapters and to make sure that student veterans have the support they need to succeed to, through, and beyond higher education. So the work that I do is actually like a very small part of SVA. Our North Star, our main mission is our chapters and supporting them. So thanks for joining the summit. Still time to apply. Just go to studentveterans.org and you can get a ton of great resources. And then I was going to make another point. Now I don't remember that second point. That's
the one concern that I do have though with attending this summit. If I start an SVA at my university, I do not know any other veterans at my college, and I have reached out to the military liaisons, the same ones that failed me, and have asked them, and have asked them, are there any other veterans that would be interested in this? And she's like, well, I guess I could email them. And I'm like, I mean, like, can we have a, like, could you?
You only have the one job.
Yeah, like, that's your job. Like, connect veterans with other veterans so that we can assist each other in making our lives better. Because I came home, I didn't have any friends. Like, Hugh is my friend, and that's pretty sad. Ooh. So, like,
you know me, and I think that's good there.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. So I mean, like,
what you need to do is find the one Marine on campus who will help you take over a corner of a building and occupy it until the dean.
I don't need them for that. I can do that myself. But I mean, it would have been nice to have that opportunity to have made other friends who might have been going through the same transition as myself instead of going through it alone.
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely a really hard part. And I feel like if I had an SVA or had a veteran-focused organization accessible to my university, I probably would have done so much better coming out. Like, I would not have been in as horrible as a situation as I was when I first got out. And I figured it out on my own, but...
Yeah, well, the summit will definitely go into more of that. What I talk about is like kind of an odd part of it. Most of the summit is dedicated to fundraising, recruiting, how to set up a chapter, how to lead successful events with other student organizations. So definitely the best place to start is that summit. And then contact our team for some direct follow-up after that if you still want some help on getting that going. Recruiting is always a challenge. Feeling isolated is always a challenge, especially right now. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing the summits. We're trying to break down some of those barriers. So let us know how we can help. That's anybody listening. Let us know how. That's what we're here for. That's our job.
I have a very specific question.
Oh no.
Regarding assistance.
Okay.
Billy shares our videos in upwards of 60 other veteran Facebook groups, and I'm tired of seeing people ask this question. Who is the person they should go to find out the qualifications for their GI Bill, what they get, what is coming to them, and so on? Yeah,
there's only one place you can get that answer. One place and one place only, and that is the VA directly. They have to work with the DOD.
You're
it's
okay
so
there?
annoying.
Did
It's
you
so
just have a
annoying.
seizure or something?
Oh,
like
yeah.
Tourette's?
I did this paragraph's worth of fucking time. Call your SVA. Oh, but no. Call your SVA. Oh, but no. Call your SVA. I died in boot camp. Nope, you don't qualify. Call the SVA.
Right. I'll throw into here the number you can call to get some help. It's the VA directly. And the way it works, right? They have to go. So you apply on the VA website. It's actually super easy. Takes like 5 minutes. Then the VA takes your record information, verifies your service with the DOD. So like you sending me a paragraph or sending anybody a paragraph doesn't really matter, right? Like all that matters is what the DOD and the VA say to each other. You can appeal, right, what they say, right? But like I'm not going to be able to tell you what they're going to say. So go to the VA directly. You can go to va.gov and apply. They'll contact the DOD, do everything for you, and you'll get a letter that tells you exactly what you qualify for with the GI Bill. That is the way to find out. Go to the VA directly.
Do they still call it a NOBI, Notice of Basic Eligibility?
They call it a certificate of eligibility, and we're working on making it totally digital. So fingers crossed that comes in the next couple of weeks.
Listen, mine was digital. For those that are watching and listening, when I got my e-benefits account after my 5th DD 214, pretty sure. It was right there in my e-benefits account. I have this many points. I have this many days on active duty. I have this percentage. So it's all in there. You can go in and look. You just have to go in and create your account and get your stuff transferred over. I can sit here on my mouth all day, but Lauren, you actually work for the SVA, so it holds a little bit more weight when you say this is what you need to do to find out what you qualify for.
Yep, that's the only way to do it. Go to the VA directly. It's no different than the VA home loan, right? Like your bank can't give you that certificate of eligibility. You know,
you can talk out on benefits.
Yep, you can't. Like your realtor can't tell you if you qualify. The only person who can, the only entity that can, I should say, is the VA directly. Same thing with the GI Bill. Same thing, disability compensation, right? Like you can say your ears hurt all day long. The VA has to tell you they hurt. Really different.
Yeah.
I can't feel my one toe.
2%, not service connected though. Well, Lauren, we can't thank you enough for being here tonight. This has just been phenomenal. The level of information we've been able to get from somebody who actually goes to the Hill and talks to the Senate Armed Services community and to Congress about veterans issues. Thank you very much for being here tonight.
Thanks so much for having me. I hope I gave some numbers, gave my email. Let us know how we can be helpful, and thanks for having us.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Lauren.
Have a good night.
Were you struggling with your words there for a second, Hugh?
Yes. Yes, because I like most other students, I don't feel like there's a reason to be directly attacked, but carry on with your bad self.
So hold on. Some of the comments that I could not put up while she was speaking. So Jeannie, I don't want you to think that I missed this gem that you threw up at 1936 or 7:30 in the PM.
You're a civilian. You sound like you're talking from behind the glory hole wall.
Yes, you do. The whole time I'm like, why does he sound like he's like talking through a plastic tube? Like
California's on fire. I can't do anything about that. It surely isn't the only time Hugh has been early from behind a glory hole. Well,
it looks a lot better there. It doesn't look like the whole state is sepia tone.
It's been extremely humid the last 3 or 4 days. So it's
that's what fire does.
East Coast humid? Are we talking East Coast humid?
No, we're talking like I live on the ocean humid. So I don't know
Florida, like Jacksonville humid?
No, like I don't really know what the different level of humidity is because I've only lived there while it was humid, but
Like jockstrap humid after 9 innings in the in southern states on the ball
Like
field?
a warm up jockstrap humid.
Oh, there we go.
Not full jockstrap humid, just warm up jockstrap.
Just warm up, like after you put icy hot on it to mess with your buddy.
You get out there, you do a light jog, you're like, this is gonna suck. About that level of humidity.
Oh, okay, good talk. I think it just looked like there was a bird that just flew by, and it was like flying all dumb looking. It looked like it slammed into the building.
Yeah, all look like fucking I've had a crow land up on my tree a couple times. And Guinness is like,
Even Guinness knife hands.
Snacky,
really
snacky. Yeah, those knife
yeah.
hands that you did were awesome.
You know, all right, so look, first things first, yes, I was struggling with my words because as a student, I only know so much up to the point where it goes above my head. You know, I'm sure Justin and Lauren and Kim know all the appropriate words. I don't know who they talk to up there in DC, like by their title. So, yeah, I struggle with my words a little bit. But at the end of the day, hopefully what people learned was don't ask Facebook your qualifications for the GI Bill. Get online, go to your e-benefits, which is great. My first deployment in 2010, e-benefits was not a thing. We saw an AT&T call trailer, you know? So
I love that.
the e-benefits was not really a thing. So it wasn't until I got back from my
Did you guys
third
have
deployment.
Nokias?
No. I mean, like, no, not out there. But it was like a trailer. You had to have like a card and dial. But it took like 8 minutes just to get to the point where you could dial the number. And then when your mom didn't hang up, you're like, fuck this bitch, screw her. But now e-benefits is around, and just like we were talking about, you can apply for a VA home loan. You can check your disability. You can check what was accepted, what was denied, what's going to be listed as a long-term. You can check your your percentage of your GI Bill based on however much time you have on active duty. I cannot encourage people enough to go online and sign up for an e-benefits account, go to the DAV or the VFW, have them get all your shit put into your account for you. Because honestly, I don't know what it is about the internet and Facebook. I don't know why people think that it's a requisite fucking expert. Because there's some stupid fucking people on Facebook.
There is. Yes, there is, Jimmy. You go to the VA. Go to the VA and you just go in there. It'll help you.
Go ahead, Meg, because I'm going to go on a little bit more of a rant.
If you are going to go and ask Q for any advice on anything, this will be his response.
It will be.
All right, Hugh, before you go on your massive rant,
send it.
I need to screen share something so before the end of the show.
Is it frankly,
no, it's not the meme you sent me. Shut up and
it
listen.
Was good.
Anything weird.
It was good.
Oh, I mean, it's okay.
Okay, everyone watching needs to go and donate at least $10.
Well, we would appreciate it if you could.
No, listen. You need to go.
That's the minimum.
And donate the minimum of at least $10. You know, when we started this idea, all these high numbers were getting thrown around. We got excited. Hugh.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some money.
I'm not excited to shave my eyebrows, but I am excited.
Oh, I'm excited.
Of course, you guys are. The benefit and the effect that your money will have.
I'm excited. It's gonna take you 4 to 6 months to grow them back.
So this GoFundMe page is in our profile on all our social media sites. You can go Callie. Perfect. Thank you, Callie. I saw that on
IG. The IG. That's what I'm calling it. The IG.
So we have our website, our Linktree website up there. It's in there. It's pinned as one of the top posts on the Facebook page. It's in the profile on the Instagram page. It's on the YouTube page. We're just asking if you could please, if you can, just donate $10. If we hit the minimum mark of
$750. At $750, they will get Shave Ed.
Right there, $750.
Shave Ed.
We're close. Yeah. We're at 524. We're at 524.
What's the top number there? What's the top number?
1750.
Okay, we need 1750. I don't even care about that. I just want to paint Guinness's nails.
But
Really all
well,
I
hold
care.
on. $17.50 plus a decent amount gets my dog's nails painted, and he's got long quick, so they'll be there for a long time.
Yeah,
yeah.
I really want to paint Guinness's nails.
Keep in mind, the money is it's not going to us. It's going to Leashes of Valor, which trains service dogs for post 9/11 veterans. Billy has his service dog whiskey from them. Guinness is inadvertently from them. But the money goes to feeding the veteran, housing the veteran, transportation, training equipment, and so on. I can't say enough how great of an organization it is. It's veteran owned and operated. It's by and for veterans. I encourage you to go check it out. And if nothing else, those sweaters are fucking comfortable in the wintertime. Oh my God. Just like the most comfortable.
No, but seriously, like
why are you so weird?
When I've talked about whiskey, my service dog actually changing my life. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not trying to, boast about it. It's the dead honest truth. I struggled for years of just being able to just get out of the house to do normal everyday stuff. And if it wasn't for Leashes of Valor pairing me with my service dog, I wouldn't be able to still do those things. It's for those who've experienced that, it's debilitating. It's very debilitating. So we're just asking if you could just take the time to just donate a minimum of $10. We would truly appreciate it, because on October 10th, when we go to Maker's Craft Brewery up in Virginia for this big veterans hiring event, that a lot of
up there, do it.
Okay.
One time I get excited.
Okay, Meg, hold up. I gotta find it now.
Yeah, you better.
Makers is doing a veterans hiring event. There'll be a lot of companies there accepting resumes, talking about the companies looking for potential hires.
We're also going to have speakers. There are going to be speakers. Your good friend Jason is going to be speaking as well.
Oh, I didn't know this. They were going to have speakers. That's awesome.
Yes, we will have speakers there as well.
Meg, this is pretty much all you. Correct?
Yeah,
this is my baby.
Go ahead and tell us about the event. Go ahead and get you some.
Go ahead, get up on your
soapbox,
girl. You do you, boo boo.
Like, I'm ready. Okay, so we are going to have a veterans networking event. It is outdoors, so everyone worried about COVID, it's going to be an in-person event. It is held by Kairos Tech, but we are also paired with the Honor Foundation, 3 Rangers, and with Leashes of Valor as well. We have many different organizations that are going to be coming out to offer resources to veterans. That way, they have a better chance of success. There are going to be direct hiring recruiters for different companies. There is going to be ODU SVA has offered to give us booklets. They will not be able to be present, though, because of their limitations. That's fine. They have booklets that they're bringing to us, so good on them. There's lots of other organizations and resources that are going to be available. We're trying to get some food trucks out there. There's going to be puppers there. It's going to be a good time. We have some not motivational speakers, but we're going to have some speakers talking about what they went through and how they use the resources to better themselves. So
it's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward. And then, of course, at the end of the whole shindig, if we meet the minimum amount, live on our show, we're not going to do it a Thursday episode because we're going to be going live a bunch that day on that immediate Saturday. Meg Hand will be shaving my eyebrows or waxing them if we get to the right amount. So it will be quite worth the entertainment because you're all on lockdown and you have nothing else to do and you've watched everything on Netflix.
Also, you'll get to see all of us with each other. That'll actually be the first time I ever meet Billy in person.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you haven't actually met Billy in person.
I've been prolonging this.
Billy, honestly, you don't want to come. If you're sick, if something magical comes up, we understand.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna wear a mask and I'm gonna scream out, "I have the Rona," and I'm just gonna go up to Meg and just cough all over her.
Don't do that. I want to keep drinking there.
I'm dying already.
They would kill me.
Yeah, seriously.
they'll be like, "Oh, Billy, we liked you coming here. Leave."
Yeah, right.
Shit.
Yeah. No, it'll be very interesting.
Justin, I just read your comment. Thank you very much. We appreciate that you're going to donate that amount. So
I'm honestly
if you actually donate it, otherwise you can eat a bag of them.
Yes.
Go, Meg.
I'm more excited about seeing the height difference between like Billy and Hugh and I.
Oh, it's obnoxious.
Because Hugh and I are like pretty close in height.
Oh yeah, I'm 5 midget. Billy's like fucking Goliath over there next to me.
So I don't know if you guys know what logger boots are, but I got a pair of Carhartt logger boots, and if it's cold enough when we go up there in October, yeah,
it should be warm.
I'm gonna wear them, and I'm about 6'6", 6'7" when I have these fucking logger boots on. Meg's gonna be like, "Oh, look, I come up.
I'm literally gonna be like,
to the middle of your rib cage. This is so nice."
Meg's gonna come up to your tit line. Hey, Billy, do me a favor and update the fucking GoFundMe and throw it back up there.
The what?
Refresh the GoFundMe and throw it back up there, please.
Okay, 1 second.
That having all been said, Gavin, you're fucking moving out, you piece of shit.
Is that Gavin's rent for the month? I'm kidding.
So actually, if for those that are curious, this right here, if you go to GoFundMe.com and you type this exact wording into the search bar, it'll bring the whole page up.
Yeah.
If that's another way you want to
locate it. Can you click update or refresh for me? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That's what Gavin, right there, man.
I can't see how much you donated.
Look at that. $336 in 3 minutes.
There you go. Gavin, you're moving out early.
Thank you so.
You have to be nice to Gavin.
I don't have to be nice. I'm doing a lot for that motherfucker. He's moving out early now.
Gavin, I'll buy you a bottle of something because you just let me shave your brother's eyebrows.
That's happening. So we've hit our $750 mark. So my eyebrows are getting shaved.
No, all seriousness. Thank you everyone for those donations. And you keep them coming in. Like honestly, I feel like was it the Jerry Lewis telethon now? Like, come on, keep on your donations.
Nobody works than Al Roker. I fucking hate that. When Al Roker does the Roker-thon, I'm like, who the fuck are you, Weatherman? Get out of here.
Okay.
But at least this money actually goes towards something.
I like heavy Al Roker. I don't like skinny Al Roker.
Yeah, well, they all suck anyways.
Yeah,
the money goes towards something the three of us care about. So thank you very much. Gavin, even though you're a piece of shit, I do appreciate you helping us out.
Such brotherly love. No, these are the donors we have so far that are up there. I'm doing this because I want to give them a shout out. So everyone that's on this list, thank you for taking.
Oh, you fucking dead to me. Jesus, I'm not going to your wine party anymore.
And then we have the great comments that are all geared towards you.
What do the comments say? I don't think I've read them.
I really wanted to say I did this solely for leashes, but Hugh with naked eyebrows sounds too hilarious. Another one says, it's a good cause, but I also want to see Hugh in leggings. Jesus Christ.
Hugh, where are the leggings?
They're in my room here. I will wear them on Thursday and show you what I look like in leggings. But honestly, it's not going to be great. Just a heads up. We can't all be 10.
I brought a pair of my leggings when I was in California to Hugh. And originally it was going to be like, hey, you could borrow these. And then it turned into, hey, you can have these. And I was like, I guess I'm never seeing those again.
I'm not overly excited.
A pair of my leggings.
It's gonna be one of the greatest days of my life.
Maybe I'll just do 20 minutes of deep lunges and squats.
They're really comfortable.
I'll put the leggings on.
I'll get you a pair of leggings. They're from Amazon's.
I'll cram all this into it.
Oh God, I hate everything about it.
Sorry.
I should have raised the bar. I should have put the bar a lot higher. For 6 months without eyebrows, I think it was a low bar. But
I'm gonna do like 100 squats a day until the 10th of October, just to bulk up.
Billy, I wear like a size small, almost like a size small, extra
just get me
small,
a medium.
So like,
get me
medium.
a Chris Farley.
I don't
medium.
wear medium.
Medium husky.
Yeah, medium husky. There you go.
Although these are some extra large, wide women's shoulders, though.
What lay off
I know you saw that there.
lay off the PCP, buddy.
Me, motherfucker.
Hey, we haven't done this in well, I don't know. I forgot about
What?
Thursday, but we haven't done any pod decks.
Well, the show is ending tonight
Oh.
because it's
I
been an hour.
I don't have my camera. Meg.
But,
We don't need to see
promo-
you. You
promo
can
the
ask
pod
the
decks.
question.
We will.
I don't want to read.
We will do some pod decks in the next episode. How about we, Billy? How about we open with some pod decks? Billy's gonna look like an ice cream cone in leggings. That's pretty heavy-handed coming from the motherfucker sitting on the couch.
God. So Hugh, when because I'm staying with you that weekend, right?
Everybody's staying with me.
So we're kicking Gavin out of his room. Like I'm.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Listen, if anybody's gonna watch it, I highly recommend that you do.
I'm gonna
It'll be
dirty dick
myself.
everything in his room. Oh my God.
When Gavin goes back in there, shit is gonna itch on him. It'll be myself, Billy, Meg, Danique is staying with me, Leslie, who works for Kairos and is helping out with the event. I'm pretty sure Jason or Matt is coming down. One of them is, there's going to be about 10 of us. There's always a good possibility we get super fucking hammered and just record the entire night. I cannot invite you all enough to tune in. It's going to be a lot of fun. I don't really want to shave my eyebrows, but I've been actually putting some ideas in my head about like how I'm going to make it look good and or inconspicuous. But, I've, thanks to the military, I've done dumber shit for a lot less. So, like realistic. This is going to be a good time. It's going to be a really good time.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm
It's going to be good.
I'm ready for this slumber party. I really hope Danique comes and stays with us because me and her can have girl time and like help each other with our hair and makeup while you guys like get drunk in the back.
Danique's the dude of the relationship. Matt's the girl.
Okay, well Matt can help me do my hair. No. Maybe he can teach you how to do your eyebrows.
Whiskey's a female dog. You could take her and go.
There you go.
Oh, I want to tell you something really dumb my dog tried to do the other day.
Yes.
So I have an emotional support dog. Her name is Riley. She's really pretty, but she's really dumb. This dog tried to pick up a root like it was a stick.
She just kept working at it, huh?
Yeah, she just kept going, and I was like, you know what? You're a special kind of stupid, but you're pretty, and that's the only reason I got you.
Just like
but
Guinness.
She did scare the deer away.
Not overly intelligent, but tons of character.
Yep. She did scare the deer away though. There was deer in the yard, so.
There you go.
Well, there you go. And there's the Leashes of Valor webpage if anyone is interested. So it's .org.
I'm gonna steal the fuck out of one of those puppies.
Oh my God, I would.
I know, right? It's just so like
my love.
I feel, God, talk about pulling at your heartstrings. Like they're looking at the camera, like, please donate, please just we need your money, please. Come on, Mama.
Guinness, we'll get the puppy.
That would be in my background on my phone, like just one of those dogs. Like I'm hearing Sarah McLachlan in the back of my head. Like,
Jesus Christ! I heard she's writing the new theme song for 2020. Is
she really? I did hear she's getting a new song.
Meg has a dumb emotional support dog. These jokes
I do have a really dumb dog. It's like weird because sometimes she'll be really dumb and then other times she'll be really smart. Like she knows by the car sounds whether I'm home or whether Jerry is home. She knows and she flips out and she will sit by the door.
When Jerry
took 20 minutes to come inside today and he finally came in and I was like, have you been sitting out in the parking lot? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, Riley's been fucking flipping out for half an hour because you wouldn't come in the house. And he's like,
Jerry, you're fucking 70. Go in the house.
Yeah, he just had his birthday. He's 70
Oh, Marvel,
now.
Jerry. Good thing.
Yes,
Marvel.
Yes. He's no longer 69.
Oh, God, what an age. Couldn't
now
even
he
imagine.
is 7 decades old.
Wow, that's just a shitty fucking way to put it, Meg. Jesus Christmas.
Yeah, 7 decades.
He wore a Hawaiian shirt for his birthday party dinner.
Oh, for the Boogaloo. Sure.
Yeah. That's what I said to him. I was like, is this a Boogaloo party?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here tonight. And thank you to our guests who put out just a ton of information that we cannot wait to share with all of our guests and our viewers and everybody in all these other Facebook groups. Remember, if you're asking about whether or not you qualify for veterans benefits, call your SVA so I don't have to yell at you because my tumor is going to take care of itself one day. If you can, please donate to our GoFundMe.
Fuck off.
It's on the top of our webpage.
Thanks,
It's on our Facefucker. It's on our Instacunt. And I think it's on our Twitter too. I'm sure. Do we have a Twitter yet? We'll get one.
Yeah, we do.
I'm looking forward to Thursday. I can't wait. I'm going to go drink more beer for its Oktoberfest. I'm going to drink a lot of whiskey to go along with it, just to remind the Germans their place in this world. That hasn't been said.
And if you didn't catch at the beginning, I'm going to go ahead and play our new overlay for the end of the show.
We don't like the end of the show. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we will see you guys on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Have a good night, everyone.
7:30 p.m. 19:30 for military. Mazel. Good thing.